Four hosts, they bout to wreck shit like Marco. Addicted to the Giants like it's Netflix and Narcos. The CEO making big moves as per usual. Captain Negative calling everybody delusional. This podcast is #1. Like when you take a piss. So share the link and pass it, like bitch making slips and Mr. Make-A-Wish, the sophisticated click. I spit offensive lines, now Tim can take a sip of some beer, because he likes the taste of it, right? Don't forget the New York Giants beat the Patriots twice. The sickest dudes, eating chips and salsa like it's Victor Cruz. Win or lose, always gonna root for Big Blue. It's true, this a classic show, Tyree, catch it bro. Play a drinking game while you listen and call it Plaxico. Take a couple shots. If it's funny you can rewind, so bleed blue means it's in their jeans. Like Levi's, Eli, man in the shit, just like a sailor. Captain, we attacking bum rush like Lawrence Taylor. Podcast on point, the sharpest arrows. BBG, stay gritty like Mark Bavaro.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
What is going on, Bleed Big Blue Nation? My name is Marco. I am your host for today's lovely little episode that we have going on. Let me know if you could hear me. I see the chats have already come in, and that's going in. I'm not doing this alone. We have a full show for you. On the line, I have Tim. Tim, what is going on, gentlemen? How are you feeling? Timmy.
It's almost draft time.
Almost draft time. Correct. How's the South treating you? How's the weather, my friend?
Well, the South is pretty nice down here. Weather's been beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is we have a little pollen issue. And if you have allergies, it's going to kill you. Thank God I'm not one of those people.
So I will be headed down to the Hilton Head. Almost near your area.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, with the little family.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure what's going on for next Wednesday. We will see. That's to be determined. I have done them from down there.
Nice.
We'll see. Is Captain Positive there?
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Oh, look at you. How's everything going?
Oh, super. How's everything going with you?
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Everything is peachy keen over here.
That's right.
That's how we do it over here. There was a little surprise today in Giants Nation, and I'm actually surprised. I like it, and it was pretty good, I'm thinking. The best thing about
Can we give Dave Gettleman a little round of applause?
we can.
Hilarious.
Yes, we will give him a roaring. Do you want to know the best news that came out of the Sterling Shepard deal?
Yeah, what's the best news?
The best news is that no one saw it coming. There wasn't a leak. There wasn't any reported dealings before it happened. It just happened. So maybe, just maybe, they might have tightened up the ship because they were spurting out all things prior to that with the Odell trade, everything. But this one, deal got done quietly, and I was actually surprised. It doesn't seem like the Giants can keep anything in-house.
It's nice that we got a
Tate
guy that's
signing
actually keeping a young player at a good price. I'm ecstatic about the deal. I think that, especially with the kind of year that Sterling Shepard has the potential to have this year, I think we locked him up cheap.
There's nothing wrong with the deal. It's a great signing. Here's the problem with the deal.
Mm-hmm.
The Golden Tate signing makes no sense now. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, it's just, it's like one, like, you want to give him a round of applause. Like, I want to give him
like, you want me to do it again? Hold on, I'll give it to him again.
No, not at all. Don't. Give him a fucking, like, confused. Do we have a confused sound? Like, is there something like that? I'm befuddled. I just don't know what they're doing. Like,
I got that one.
I get locking him up, but why did you sign Tate?
That's not confused. Hold on. We got this one. Maybe this one.
Doe. There you go.
Let's see.
What was it? And you, not in reference to the Sterling signing.
Oh, we got this one.
The Tate one. Yeah. There you go. Golden. I don't get it. I don't get what they're trying to do. I don't know that Shepard can consistently win on the outside. I know that Tate can't. I don't know that Tate can get open anymore at 30-plus years old.
You know what, though? He's a great locker room guy.
That's great, yeah. Well, more tutors. They've worked out for us very well so far.
Wait, hold on.
So going into next.
Let's talk about Golden Tate. Ready? Here we go.
They sure now it's.
Yeah, it's like.
Go ahead, James.
Time Golden Tate was good. That song was popular.
Oh.
I don't know what you want me to. I don't know what you really want me to. Do you want to like? You could defend the Tate side, like that. Like play the music so you guys could defend the Tate side. Like I'd love to hear that one. Like,
okay, as far as the Tate signing,
go ahead.
He was the best wide receiver on the market at the time.
What does that say, Tim? Look at your roster.
No, I understand
that. Is that the best allocation of your money right now, knowing that you were going to lock up Sterling Shepard?
There's never any guarantee.
Is that the best allocation of the money, knowing that you were going to lock up Sterling Shepard?
You got Sterling Shepard as your number one. Without Golden Tate, who do you have?
Tim, is that the best allocation of your money, knowing that you were going to give $10+ million to Sterling Shepard? Knowing that even if you cut Golden Tate 2 years from now, you take $5 million of dead money versus the cap.
You know what?
That's very similar and gives you a lot of what Sterling Shepard does. He's just 30+ years old, coming off a low year.
You know what we could have done? How about we keep our 25-year-old future Hall of Fame wide receiver and not sign Golden Tate?
No, that's silly.
You know, that would probably been the better move. But,
whoa. No, not at all. Because then you're keeping the cancer in your locker room. Don't try to equate one thing with the other. Because then
no, do it, Tim. Do it.
Was signed to replace Odell Beckham Jr.
No, because the fact is, you know what? No, because Golden Tate was the reaction to the Odell trade. You had to replace him.
Isn't that bad GMing, Tim?
Replacing the wide receiver you had to get rid of?
To throw money at a 30+-year-old wide receiver. When you look at position cost of value at the positions that bring wins to an NFL roster, the two lowest are wide receiver and running back.
James,
so you made one good move.
Wait, James, hold on. James, hold on.
Go ahead.
Does a roster number really matter this year? We know what's going to happen.
So then why sign Golden Tate to that much money?
Because it doesn't matter this year. Next year they have no one on the books. Next year, zero's on the book.
He's under contract. You can't walk away from the deal for 2 years.
And that's your one.
There's $5 million of dead money on the cap.
We have $120 million.
But we're so free of money. We're so free of money next year.
But guys,
we're about $5 million. We're loaded.
Can you ever be free of? But is there ever a number that is too low or too high? You want that number to be as high as possible, right?
And then the cap is going to go up.
Why stop at 120?
Then the cap is going to go up regardless. It doesn't matter. You signed a player to sign a player.
It goes up year to year. It goes
exactly.
Up allocating funds to a 30+-year-old wide receiver. Look at the money that you don't have a right. You don't have a right tackle. You have no one on defense. There weren't 2 or 3 players that were still free agents out there that you could have used that money to.
Wasn't it you who wanted to build through the draft?
I do. Give me a wide receiver through the draft.
Okay, I guarantee that's what they draft one. They already brought.
Well, then why am I paying Golden Tate all that money? I just paid Sterling Shepard.
Because you need a leader in the locker room who could tutor everyone. You know that.
I'm paying a quarterback who's won the Super Bowl MVP twice, $23 million.
He's not a wide receiver.
He can't coach everybody.
Good. He's a quarterback. Those are the guys I need to lead. You guys are having a tough time with these questions, man.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Hold on.
You take out Golden Tate. So our wide receiver core is what?
Tim, you just told me the roster isn't good enough to win anyway. What do I care? My goal is to tank to get a better draft pick next year.
First of all, no NFL team other than Miami Dolphins right now should be saying they're trying to tank.
Okay, but there are certain teams that should be when they
only have
recognize
8
the landscape of what's going on.
Who's paying for that?
Paying for what?
Who's paying to watch the team lose?
Mm-hmm.
They were paid the last 2 years.
No.
So they were trying. Hey, you know what?
They
last
were.
Year,
they didn't look like they were trying.
They put their chips in with Eli. You know what? They were wrong.
How'd that go?
You know,
they're doing it again, Tim. The Golden Tate signing just told you they're doing it again. And you sit here and you open the show with a round of applause because they re-signed Sterling Shepard.
Yes, a young.
They just did exactly what you criticized again.
Wait, did he say round of?
You just said they made a mistake last year with Eli. They're doing it again in front of your face. They're pissing in your face, and you're saying, "Give me more."
So you say don't keep your young talent.
No, I'm saying I have no problem with the Sterling Shepard signing. If there were other moves made that were proper moves for the best interest of the franchise, last year you could have probably got Landon Collins for a lot less than Washington just signed him for on a long-term deal. If you had the conversation last year when it should have been had.
Wait.
So you keep giving guys round of applause when they do these common sense moves.
And I am a Landon Collins fan. To be fair, and I am a Landon Collins fan, the guy can't cover. And you know what? As a safety, if you can't do half the job,
Christ Almighty, neither can dribble peppers, Tim.
You don't deserve that money.
No, you're right. You're right, Tim. You sound ridiculous.
Wait. Can I just go back?
You're talking about a guy in 2016 who is the third in voting of Defensive Player of the Year, and you had a chance last year to lock him up on probably a team-friendly deal long-term that would have been probably roughly $9, $10, $11 million a year, which is under market value, apparently, for what the guy just got paid on the open market. And you're going to sit here and try to make excuses instead of look at the team and the decisions they're making objectively.
You know what? He is a great leader. You know what they paid the extra money for? To take him away from us. They paid that extra money.
No, they paid the extra money for him because they had to. There were other teams bidding. They had a leader in the locker room. They wanted a leader in the locker room. You paid extra for that. They paid him that much because they had to. There were other teams that were willing to bid for him. It's the open market. Teams have $100 million available under their cap. They're able to overpay for some of these guys, like the Giants are going to do next year.
You know what? That's probably what's going to happen. But
it's going to. You're going to have to.
But you know what? Jabril Peppers is a better fit. He's a better fit.
You think Jabril Peppers is a better football player than Landon Collins? Honestly. Honestly.
If you want to say coverage, he's better.
Timmy, he's not a cover guy, Tim. So don't throw that shit in my face. He's a box safety.
No, Jabril is a better cover guy than Landon Collins by far. Landon Collins
is Jabril Peppers a better player than Landon Collins, Tim?
You know what? Fuck it. Yes.
You're on crack.
You know what? Because the fact is, he's also
official.
going to be one of our kick returners and punt returners as well.
Great. Awesome. So now we're going to take our starting safety and we're going to let him return kicks, a la Jason Sehorn. More great GMing, Tim. God, when do you take over the team?
Well, your boy Francesca is already taking over the team. Hence Golden Tate signing.
Yeah, we're in trouble. They're listening to him. That's why they cut Collins.
Hold on, I'm trying to set my stuff up. We have a bunch of shit.
It makes no sense, guys. It makes no sense. You can't sit here and say they went all chips in for Eli last year and criticize them for that, and then look at what's going on this year and give round of applause. You can't sit here and say you can't do it, guys. It's time to stand up and say, hey, we're Giants fans, yes, but do you want to keep swallowing shit from this team?
But
or do you want to call a spade a spade?
I'm just taking move by move. I'm taking literally move by move.
But Tim, you got to look at all of the moves in whole, right? I applaud the Sterling Shepard move, but it's on top of other moves, right? You can't just I applaud the Sterling Shepard move.
It's like grading a draft. It's like grading the draft. Pick by pick, you give it A+,
Here's the thing about the Tim, and here's the thing about the draft, Tim, and this is all the Giant fans watch when they get suckered into this. Okay, watch the suckers with the draft. Okay, you're picking 6th in a draft that has a ton of defensive talent. There's no way you can't walk away with an A+ talent at 6. Watch the praise that Gettleman gets just from fucking making a pick.
Mm-hmm.
He can't go wrong.
For
like the draft starts at 17 for Gettleman.
He did well last year. Other than Loletta, he had a great draft.
He didn't do well last year, Tim. He didn't do well last year, Tim. He didn't do well. He failed with the first pick that he made. I'm sorry. Saquon Barkley is a phenomenal player. When you look at cost of value on what these players...
First of all, I'm not even going to argue Offensive Rookie of the Year was
it means nothing, Tim. It's an individual stat. I'm trying to put a trophy in the case, and I can't do that with Rookies of the Year. He's a running back that's getting paid the 5th highest salary for a position that doesn't equate to wins.
Do you have a stat where it says Rookie of the Year brings down your chances of winning the Super Bowl?
You know the stat that I have, Tim? It says that wide receivers and running backs don't equate to wins.
All right, let me...
So you're paying a running back the 5th highest salary when the position does not equate to wins, which is evident by the fact that you went from 3 wins to 5 with a Rookie of the Year breaking records. Tip of the cap.
The cap is insignificant at this point.
It's not insignificant, Tim. It's
we
not
have $120 million next year.
It's extremely next year, Tim.
And Eli comes off the books next year.
But the 120 is including Eli coming off the books, Tim. It's not an extra.
Well, okay, well, whatever. And then a guy like Jenkins will probably come off the book as well. Let's be honest.
So what is that? They still have to spend it correctly. You're still giving $120 million to Captain Dementia.
But I understand. But the thing is, as long as you draft right, which he did last year,
he did it last year, Tim.
You keep adding good players.
Last year, Tim. He didn't draft good last year. I'm sorry.
Saquon Barkley, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Lorenzo Carter was a good pick. B.J. Hill was a good pick. Loletta was an awful pick. The Barkley pick, nice player. Horrible pick.
Hold on.
Hernandez is a good pick.
We got
good pick. Good pick.
Okay, Lorenzo Carter.
Wait, we got a few. We got a few super chats coming through. Hold on. Let me give people their props who have donated.
You can't sit here after last year and tell me the Barkley pick was still a good pick.
James. Oh my, where's the mute button? Let's see. Cruising 26. Thank you for the 2 super chats. He wants to know, do you think the Giants will re-sign Eli for 2 more years? He wanted to get that through, and also are we drafting Haskins?
I think they will. No, I don't think they're drafting Haskins, and I think yes. I think Eli's coming back for at least another year, maybe 2. Would not surprise me whatsoever.
For some,
as far as my opinion on that one, I think Eli, this is his last year. Gettleman just giving lip service at this point as far as extensions and all that stuff. If Eli has another year like he did last year, there's no way in hell he's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Remember who told you in the middle of the year last year that Eli was coming back, and all 3 of you guys laughed at me this year. So until they get rid of Eli, I'm not buying.
But his contract though, I mean, it's not like they're going to give him $20 million a year if he comes back.
Are you serious? You don't think so? You don't think so?
There's no way they can give him that kind of money.
What you have seen from this franchise, how they have bent over for this fucking guy, you can't conceivably see them extending him on a 1-year deal for another 18 to 20 million, Tim?
No.
Seriously? With 120 million under the cap? You don't think they would do that?
You would give 20 million to Eli.
You need to get prepared. You need to get prepared.
Prepare yourself, Tim.
I would literally storm the castle.
You need to prepare yourself, Tim, because it's coming, buddy.
I think they are.
Get the natty ices on ice, and wait for it.
I don't know. Honestly, I could see it, but I don't think Eli would be. I don't think he would. If it's another losing season, do you see him really wanting to come back to another 3-4 win season?
Yep.
in one that he's possibly getting benched during the middle?
Yeah, and that's the thing. We
Who's
take a
benching
quarterback, he's going through another season
Ben
like that.
McAdoo. Ben McAdoo.
Yeah, we wish. We wish. I don't think you realize the stranglehold that this fucking guy has on the organization. I think you guys. I think that some of us are still blind to the fact of who's really in control here. Eli's not going anywhere until fucking Eli wants to go somewhere, gents. I'm sorry. Until Eli says I'm done, he's our fucking quarterback. Get used to it. And whoever they take this year at 6 or 17 is going to fucking sit there until Eli says he's done. Get ready for it.
He's going to be our quarterback when he doesn't have a contract?
They'll extend him for a year. They'll give him a year deal. They'll give him a 2-year deal. They'll take it year to year with him. You think they won't? You're crazy, gentlemen.
You know what's giving me hope?
Oh, hope? Go ahead.
Because they were so quiet on their Sterling Shepard deal, the Rosen to the Giants has gone quiet, and a lot of other teams' names have been popping up.
Mm-hmm.
Rosen to the Giants. Is it too quiet out there?
It's not happening. Not happening.
Hey, I thought Arizona was stupid as shit for even thinking about it. And if they don't,
I think
trade
Rosen's getting traded. I think Rosen's getting traded. I just don't think it's happening. I don't think this is going to be the Giants.
Do you think it's going to be the Redskins?
I don't think they are going to do anything that puts anyone in a position to start questioning Eli Manning and his playing time.
Do you think it's Washington?
And I think I would lean towards Washington. Yeah.
Do you think
if I had anything?
Do you think it could be Miami?
I would lean Washington more toward. I think he's a better. I think Miami is set on just sucking this year.
Yeah, I think they're really looking to tank. They'll go for that next year.
Unless the price for Rosen comes plummeting down and they can literally steal him for nothing. I think Miami is set on just being a complete wreck shop this year and seeing what they can do going into next year. What
about Denver?
Supposedly offered the number 2.
I think Denver could be
supposedly already offered the number 2.
For who?
For Rosen.
For Rosen.
Rosen? I don't believe that.
That's what's come out a few times.
I don't believe that. I saw one article that said that they're not even involved, and they would think about offering a third. If it got to the second, they wouldn't even fucking think about it. They're not doing it.
Do you think
get it out of your heads? It's not happening.
Do you think Denver would?
I think Denver might. I think Denver would be in play. I don't know their later draft picks. I don't know what they have. I think Washington, Denver, Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think there's a couple of outlier teams. I also think that the Chargers and the Patriots, if he's available, I think they'll make an offer. I think you'll have around 4 or 5 teams that'll get involved.
What about Pittsburgh?
I don't know that the Giants will be one of them. Could be. I mean, they're in the same boat as, say, a New England or San Diego. I just haven't heard Pittsburgh linked to them. I've heard the Chargers. I've heard New England. We know there's a need in Miami. We know there's a need in Denver. We've heard Cincinnati's looking at some quarterbacks. We just throw the Giants in. So there's 5 or 6 teams right there. So
I'll say right now,
will be if he becomes available, there will be a market for him.
The rumors that Haskins is going to drop. If Haskins drops, I think he goes to Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes sense the Ohio State boy goes to Ohio too.
As long as he doesn't go to Washington.
Why is that? So you can root for him?
No, because I don't want him to fucking kill us for the next 10 to 12 years.
He'll be sitting on the bench first year. It's fine.
No, he won't. Not in Washington. In Washington? For who?
You get Case Keenum. Are you kidding me?
Get the fuck out of here. Who?
It's called a troll, my friend. It's called a troll.
Jesus.
Do you think that this is all like all for nothing in that they're actually going to keep Rosen, and it's just a ploy to pop
If it was me, that's what I would be doing. If it was me, that's what I would be doing.
Maybe they're not really. Maybe they're really not all in on Kyler Murray. I know people.
I don't know how you could be.
I know people love him, and if you say like a bad thing about him, that he's not under 6'6", people go like berserk. He can still play.
It has to me. It has nothing to do with. To me, it's the fact that he makes one read and then he doesn't make another. Yeah, he's a lot of athletic ability, which is nice, but I don't know that can consistently win on the NFL level. I just don't. Now, maybe he proves me wrong. Could be, but I don't like him. Like I wouldn't touch him. Like if I have Rosen, I'm not drafting him. Like give me the defensive player. I have my quarterback.
As far as Arizona, you're absolutely right, but
and
I really think I do think Murray's going Arizona.
Unless Kingsbury is so arrogant that he just thinks I know I could win with this guy. He fits perfectly in what I want to do. He's the guy. If that's the case, then you got to move Rosen. You got it. You're not having both of them on your roster.
My question is, has Kingsbury ever won?
No.
Isn't he like failing upward?
No, but
consistently?
Yeah.
Yep.
And why would they give him like, here's the keys to the franchise. Got the number 1 pick. We already have a quarterback. Go get your guy though. Like
no, it was weird that they gave him the job. But if you're gonna give the guy the job and the guy says this is my offense, you would see. Here's the thing that doesn't make sense. Like when Kingsbury comes in, Josh Rosen's on your roster. Like you have Josh Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kingsbury comes in for an interview, and the offense that. The vision that he tells you, like if you're the GM, like I'm sort of thinking like, okay, well, if this is your vision and your vision is Kyler Murray, like I got Josh Rosen.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that, I just drafted Josh Rosen. Like,
you would think that would come up in the interview. You would think that would come up in.
You would think that would come up in the interview. Can you win with Josh Rosen?
What do you think?
I got the first.
What do you think of the roster? Oh, and we have the first pick.
I mean,
the funny thing is having the first pick, and that's the one position that we were fine on. Is quarterback, and that's what they're going to take.
That's the weird part to me. Unless he's saying behind closed doors, like I can't win with this offense with Josh Rosen. Like, there's no way for me to tweak what I want to do with Josh Rosen as my quarterback.
Right.
Because if that's the case, then if that's what Kingsbury says, then that's their number 1 need. Because on his team, with the offense that he runs, if you don't have a quarterback that fits that system, you have nothing.
And that's what they were saying with NFL Network this morning. They said with Kyler Murray, he wouldn't even have to hold back the offense at all. It's usually like be a couple-year process to learn it. They said Murray he could jump right in and know it.
Yeah. It's literally designed for a quarterback like him. It's not designed for a quarterback like Josh Rosen. Now, can you run it with a quarterback like Josh Rosen? Yeah, but you're toning it down completely. You're taking away everything that makes that offense completely dangerous. Kyler Murray is made for that offense. The question is can that offense succeed on an NFL level?
That's my exact thing. Has that offense ever been played in the end, like with Kingsbury running it, played in the NFL?
Hey, we've seen.
This is his first time being a head coach in the NFL.
Crazy. Well, I don't know that a first-time coach has done it, but the run and shoot was successful for a while. I mean, there's been some wide open. They had the run and gun in Buffalo, the run and shoot in Houston. So there have been some wide open offenses that have won in the league. Now, they were pro scheme offenses.
Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
They were pro scheme offenses with Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Correct. Mm-hmm. This is a college scheme on the NFL level with an undersized quarterback
And a first-year head
A
coach.
lot of questions to be asked. So I don't know that it can't. I don't know that the system can't work. Like, I don't know that if you put Aaron Rodgers in that system or a quarterback like that that's just more mobile, like put Pat Mahomes in that offense. Wow, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens with Kyler Murray. I think if you put Pat Mahomes with Cliff Kingsbury's offense on an NFL level, I think you can make it work. So I don't know, if it's maybe the scheme. We've seen different schemes work based on the personnel.
But didn't Pat Mahomes play in Kingsbury's scheme?
I think he did.
Yeah, in college, and he still didn't have a winning record.
No, I'm not talking about a winning record for a team-wise. I'm talking about can the offense. I don't think he's a very good coach. Right? I think he's a good offensive mind. I think that I was surprised that he got. I was surprised that he got his start as a head coaching position at the NFL level. I thought that he would have got his start more as a coordinator or a quarterback coach to get his foot in the door at the NFL level. The fact that they handed the team over to him, I was shocked about. But if you're going to hand Cliff Kingsbury your team, why are you doing that? Because you feel his offense can be explosive, right? You got to, but you feel like. But if there's one thing, but Tim, what's his strength, right? Offense. Like, so you, obviously in the meeting, he didn't come in and say, I'm going to win old school and run the ball and play defense. He said, I'm gonna be wide open, and this is my offense, and this is how I'm going to run things, and I think the NFL is going towards this, and my offense is perfect for where this league is going right now. And he tried to convey that to him. He wasn't preaching defense. So when you have Cliff Kingsbury as your coach, you're thinking my offense is going to be dynamic. Well, if his offense is going to be dynamic and the coach is telling you this is the guy I need to make it dynamic, and my only forte is offense, you better get the guy, the quarterback, that may be able to make it successful as quickly as possible.
I just don't get what Arizona's doing. First of all, to fire your coach 1 year in, not even giving him this.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Just like a whoops. And then to hire a coach who has going from bad to worse, hiring a guy who, whatever, he might be an offensive guru, still hasn't coached it down in the NFL. No,
he hasn't coached. He hasn't been successful on the college level. Never mind the NFL level. And that's why, like, if the NFL said, okay, this is a great offensive mind, and he was at some smaller schools, and it was a wide open attack, and some of the defenses where the conference is weak, whatever, right? Okay, I can see that, but maybe like we're going to give him a shot as a coordinator with a defensive-minded veteran head coach. And maybe you're saying to yourself, like, wow, we see a lot of potential where we can mold this guy to be the next head coach. But I'm surprised somebody didn't want to see him as a coordinator or a QB coach at the NFL level before they just said, here's the keys to the entire car. Like, he hasn't proven that he can run that at the college level. And now to say that you're just going to just get rid of Josh Rosen after a year to go along with what Kingsbury says, who doesn't really have the resume at the NFL level that you would find like as one that you can really rely on and say, all right, well, this is proven. Man, that's a huge roll of the dice.
Yeah,
huge.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: it's shaking up this draft, man. And
it does shake up the draft.
If the Giants are looking for a quarterback and they take Murray, I think it helps us.
It definitely helps because it takes Murray off the board, and it pushes it down to stud defensive players, without a doubt. And I want to put it out there, Marco, your prediction for who you think the Giants will take.
Yeah.
And when I was doing my predictive pick, did this morning. That's who I had Giants taking as well.
See,
and for the fans out there, who we're talking about is Ed Oliver.
I think that's the pick.
I want Brian Burns.
I like Burns, but he's not going 6.
I would take him at 6.
Yeah, huh?
I want to let him pass me. That guy's around 5 or 6 pounds from being a fucking absolute monster. He's put on around 10 or 12 pounds already. I'm head over heels in love with Brian Burns. Not for what he is, for what I feel like he can be in a year or two. I feel like there's 2 guys in the draft that I would do anything to get my hands on defensively. All right? And those 2 guys are Sweat and Burns. Not for what they are, for what I think they could be.
Sweat scares me as far as taking them 6. Because it's just, there's tons of talent there, but it's raw. And you are taking a chance. And with a top 6 pick, I don't want to take, that big a risk. I want to know what I'm getting. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is, I'm with you as far. I love defensive players. This draft is awesome as far as defensive players. As far as the guys that I really like, I like Devin White.
Right.
And
that's my ball position. He drops. I don't think Tampa's taking White.
I don't think he is either. I think
he drops. How far do you think he drops? Out of top 10?
I think he dropped. I think Devin Bush is a better linebacker than White. How about that?
Smaller, right?
But Devin Bush is outside linebacker. White's inside.
Right.
I think he's a better linebacker. Period. End of sentence. And I think Bush. And I know Giants are interested in Devin Bush right now.
Like
Bush can play all. Like I think Bush can play. The other thing I like about Bush is I think he can play all 3 spots. I think that he's versatile enough to play anywhere at the linebacker spot. I think he's smart enough and versatile enough that you can use him wherever the hell you need to use him. White concerns me with coverage. He concerns me with some missed tackles. His mouth concerns me. I would be way off of White right now. Call me crazy.
Really? That's very interesting.
Yep, I would be off of White right now. And I think that Tampa Bay would be doing us a favor if they took White. Because I think that when you do the numbers and you look at the numbers, if you're saying Murray's going first, there's only a handful of guys before you get to your pick. So if you're taking White off the board there and Murray's off the board, that's only 3 other guys before you're on the board.
Let's walk through it real quick. So Murray goes 1.
Bosa goes 2.
Consensus, Bosa's going 2.
Mm-hmm.
I figure Allen goes 3.
Jets are a wild card because I think they can go 1 or 2 spots. I think they go Quentin Williams. I think they go Josh Allen. I think they go Josh Allen.
I think they trade back. I think they trade back.
I wouldn't be surprised, Marco. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati. I don't think Miami would trade with the Jets. I don't think the Jets would do that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Denver, Cincinnati, Miami traded up with the Jets. And if not the Jets, then 4 with Oakland or wherever the fuck they are.
If that happens,
Vegas
there's people trying to trade up to
Yeah.
get Devin White.
No, people trying to. If that happens, they're trading up, trying to get the quarterback. Like, there's so much defensive talent in this draft. Why the fuck would you trade up for a middle linebacker? Like,
because
that's just stupid.
Other than Devin White, there isn't really anybody that's been playing middle.
It's just so.
There's Mac Wilson.
God, that's bad GMing. Like that. Why would you trade up and give up those valuable picks
Marco,
to get a middle linebacker?
Every week.
you are horrible at that.
If someone's trading into the top 10, they're doing it for a quarterback.
All right,
you're not giving up that package for a defensive player.
For Bosa, maybe
possibly.
Maybe Bosa's there at 3. You never know. All right, let's have everyone yell at us on the phone lines. Ready?
Yeah, let's go.
914. What's up, brother? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, guys? Calling from Central PA.
What's up, man?
I wanted to ask you a question. This is something that's been on my mind for a while since towards the end of last season. That kid that came in for the 49ers, Chris, I think his name is Chris Mullen or something like that. He came in for
Nicky Mullins.
Yes. What about that kid? They can't afford to keep him after his performance last year. Do you think he might be of interest to some teams?
I think he would be.
What's his
I don't know what
status?
the price would be. I don't know what his availability is. I think he'd be attractive to some teams. I don't know that you would really say, okay, well, we're going to trade for Nicky Mullins and he's going to be my guy. But if you can bring him in, if the cost is right, and you could bring him in to compete, and he showed something last year. Was it a flash in the pan? I don't know. But to bring him in to compete, like right now, if you told me as a Giants fan that we were going to bring in Nicky Mullins, I don't know necessarily that I'm disappointed with that, because I look after Eli and I go, I got shit. So to me, Nicky Mullins is better than Tanny. He's better than Laletta. And at least I have a young kid on my roster that I have some hope that he maybe can turn into something. I see some talent there. Much of the same reason why you throw out Nicky Mullins, I throw out the name Chad Kelly. Because I see low-cost talent that you can bring in that not necessarily you're going to play him right away, but you can sit him on the bench and see what you have there talent-wise, because no one's playing but Eli this year anyway. So
do you have any idea?
I like Mullins.
Do you know what his
Mullins is on that has to be a low-cost contract. It has to be like he has to be making a couple of $100,000 or something like that, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm looking it up right now.
And that's the reason. That's the reason I don't think he's going to get traded. Because
the question is how much.
It's such a low-cost safety net, and Garoppolo's
why would they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the question with Mullins becomes is how many years. Like if you're the 49ers right now, to me Mullins is a huge asset for me.
He was undrafted or was a late-round pick?
I'm not sure. Tim.
No,
he was undrafted last 3 years.
300 this year. This year he's making 395, and next year he'll make.
Is he under contract for next year?
Yes, for 2009. For this,
I don't know.
No, he's a free agent next year. For 2019.
Okay.
At 500,000.
Do you guys remember?
And there's no money. There's no money on his books for 2020.
No,
Do you remember
not according to
his first game?
Not according to Over the Cap.
Okay, well that's interesting.
$570,000.
The cost really is nothing, but what would they want? See, here's the thing about right now he's an asset to San Francisco because you're not 100% on what Garoppolo is coming back. Right, so I think that right now you'd have a hard time trying to get Nicky Mullins from San Francisco because they probably like him. I mean, they brought him in. He played well enough. They know they can count on him if Garoppolo gets banged up again. I think where it becomes interesting with a guy like Nicky Mullins is this, is if Garoppolo is back early in the season and by the trading deadline, Garoppolo shows that he's fine. If Nick Mullins is not under contract for the 2020 season, does he become a chip that San Francisco would be willing to sell at the trade deadline? Like, I don't think that they'd necessarily be willing to do that now. I think he has talent to be a starter somewhere. I do. We look at the talent in this league, and that's maybe not saying too much on certain teams, but I think he showed enough to think that he has a chance to develop into something.
All right, brother.
He's worth the roster spot. He's worth the development.
All right, brother. Thank you for the call. We're going to throw you on hold, and I'll get to the next dude in queue. Ready? 732.
I love questions about low-cost quarterback talent. Love it. Go ahead.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Sam from Jersey.
What's up, Sam? Hey.
What's up, Sam?
All right. So I have two things. Who said that they really like Brian Burns?
Me.
I'm
yes,
with you.
negative.
I think that we could trade back a little bit. I think maybe we could trade back a few spots, maybe with the Bengals, and get him at 10.
I would love to.
I think honestly, him and Lorenzo Carter rushing the passer, that'd be scary.
I think that the thing I like about Burns more than anything else is what he could be in a year. I think that right now, if you look at him, you're like, wow, he has a lot of talent. He's raw. I think that if you see, he has the frame where if he can get up to, I think he's at 249 now. If he can get up to 257, 258, flirt with 260, and play at that weight, I think Brian Burns is a double-digit sack guy for the next decade. I think he's that good at getting to the passer. The guy's unreal.
You think that'll slow him down, all the extra weight?
What's up?
You think the extra weight will hold him down a little?
No, I think he has the frame to do it. And Marco, he's running a 4.4 now.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, what's it going to fucking slow him down to?
4.6.
You know, but if he's putting on the weight the right way and he's getting stronger, does that not make him in a way faster? Where now he can do things, you know, with his body where he can bounce off of guys or push them around a little more, which may make him a little faster. There's no downside to that kid, man. He's a beast. What was your second point, buddy? Okay, sorry.
And if Kyler Murray and, let's say, Quentin Williams, which I highly doubt would be there, but if they're both there at 6, who do you think we should take?
Williams.
If Murray drives down to us,
if who?
Murray.
Did you say Murray and Quentin Williams? Huh? I mean,
it's a cold day in hell if those two are both on the board at 6. But
Right.
if he's going to throw out a hypothetical, to me it's not even a question.
If that's the case,
I go Williams.
I hope Gettleman opens the phone lines. If that's the case,
No, definitely off.
Oh, James, I found the picture of Gettleman with the phone in his hand, about to hang it up. I gotta send it to you. It's everything you want in your.
Please do. I need it in my life.
Is anyone watching the Giants draft thing that they're having on right now? I think it's on at 10.
No.
At 10.
No, I don't want to hear Paul Dottino tell me how great they are.
Is that the Giants trying to not get chosen for Hard Knocks? Here, we'll show you this. Please don't put us on Hard Knocks.
Look at how boring we are.
No. We traded our most exciting.
No one will watch
in
your
franchise
show.
history. All right, brother. Thank you for the call. I'm going to go to 404.
Another guy who likes Brian Burns. Brian Burns' name is starting to pick up a little bit here, or as we get closer to draft time.
I know. 404. Where's that area code from?
It's Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. What's up, bro?
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Good.
What's up, baby?
What's on your mind? What's your name?
Well, my name's Big O, man, from Atlanta, man. I called the show a couple
What's up,
of
Big O?
times. Weighed in a couple of times about the Eli situation, all that good stuff.
Sure.
But in this draft, man, I really think, man, with 6 and 17, I don't think the linebackers are going to fall to us. I don't think White is going to fall to us. I think Bush will be there at 10, somewhere around 10 or 13. But I think at 6 we'll go Ed Oliver, and then Brian Burns at 17.
So you want to go Oliver?
Defense.
Be there at 17. God, I hope you're right.
Burns
I would
be
love
there.
that. I'd sign up for that. I like Oliver. I think Oliver's a hell of a player. I see a little Aaron
If
Donald. A
we do
wider
that
little.
at 17, I'll be pissed, dude. I'll be totally pissed.
You?
That's a reach. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That's a super reach. That is a super
I'm
reach.
with you, buddy.
Hey, if you want to rebuild this team, we already accepted to rebuild this team. So we should know that we're probably not in a win now mode. So you shouldn't reach for players like that, man. Just build his defense up, man. If I was them, I actually go first 3 picks, man, defense. If that was me.
Well, I think you can go first 3 picks. I think the wise thing, all things considered, when you look at this draft, in my opinion, if you take Haskins off the board, because
Right.
Haskins is the only quarterback that I would consider drafting at all in this draft.
Right.
So if you're
Right.
telling me that they're not in love with Haskins, while I disagree with that, I can live with it. Don't make the mistake of reaching and taking the wrong guy. Wait till 2020. You're bringing back Eli anyway. Just wait.
Right.
There's too much talent in this draft at the other positions. And when you talk about the Giants roster, you can talk – we went through it last week, Marco. There's more positions that you don't need as opposed to the ones that you do.
Yeah.
You can make an argument on the defense that you need a defensive end, that you need defensive tackles, that you need a linebacker inside and out, that you need another corner, maybe 2 other corners, that you can use another safety. So there are positions of need all over this team. Wide receiver. You can use tight end that maybe, as an upgrade from Ellison, not to take anything away from Ingram, but I would like maybe a more complete tight end so that you can use Ingram to the best of his abilities, right? Maybe a wide receiver that can win on the outside. Another running back, so we don't have to run Barkley into the ground. Like, there's a lot of needs on this roster. So I think you're right. Top 3 picks. If you can say to yourself, walk away with an offensive lineman and 2 defensive players, I think that you'd be thrilled doing that. And if the board dictates to you that the defense is better than the lineman, then I'm with you 100%. Get the 3 defensive players and push the lineman back and try to work out for one of the later linemen in the draft. Get the best player available.
Right. Well, my first 3, I'm telling you, I would go Oliver, Burns, and Winovich. My first 3, man.
I don't think Burns will be there at 17. From your mouth to God's ears, I don't think Burns will be there at 17. I would love it because I'm in love with buying Burns. So the later you get him, the better. But I hope you're right.
Some scenarios, but that it kept falling there, and I was like, I would pray that it happened. But just on some hoping stuff, if it does happen, that would be my pick. I would.
You're 100% right. With my luck, here's what'll happen. He'll be on the board, and then at 16, the team in front of us will take him. Or, better yet, the Giants will pass on him at 17. That's what my luck. That's what he'll be on the board. I'll be going crazy. Take him. And then they'll take some guy you never heard of from fucking Appalachian State.
And you know what year I felt like that? The year when Tunsil fell to us at 9, and we went Eli Apple. That blew my mind.
I remember the year. There were 2 years. The Cedric Jones year, I wanted to kill someone, and the Luke Pettigrew year, I literally almost stabbed somebody in the restaurant sitting next to me.
Wait, how did the Luke Pettigrew? Wait, how did that happen again? Who did you want?
I don't know how it happened. I think they brought the wrong card up. To this day, I think that was a joke.
You know, the funny thing is I know exactly what I relived those.
Nice talking to you, baby. And you know what's funny about the Cedric Jones one? Did you see the article that just came out recently that was just going around about what happened in that draft?
No.
Supposedly, Marco, did you see it?
I didn't.
There was I think Silva tweeted it or somebody tweeted it out or was retweeted or whatever. There was an article written, some guy who used to work in the front office with the Giants. I forget his fucking name. But he worked with them in '94 when Reeves was the coach. And there was supposedly a split, a divide on that draft on who they wanted. They wanted Simeon Rice, and they did a lot of homework on the guys that they thought they were available, that were going to be available there, because they thought that the team in front of them was going to pick one guy, and they ended up picking Simeon Rice, and they thought they were going to go another way, and they picked Rice right in front of them. So the Giants did all their homework on the guys that went in front, and nobody after the guys they went in back. Now, Dan Reeves loved Cedric Jones, but Cedric Jones looked to be a late first-round pick, a mid to late first-round pick. But they didn't do any other homework on any of the other guys in the draft, so they ended up taking Cedric Jones with that pick. Can you fucking believe that? I think Gettleman was on that fucking staff.
Actually, I think he was.
Was he? Was he in Denver at that point?
I'm not sure. 94? I don't know. That was the 90. I got to find that article now and send it to you guys so you can read it. It was pretty good.
I think, for instance,
and I may have the names. I know Kevin Hardy was one of the names in front. I think there was a wide receiver. I love
Kevin Hardy. He was awesome.
Why am I thinking that there was a wide receiver that was drafted out of nowhere that surprised a lot of people, or a wide receiver went in that top 5? Now I got to look it up.
Francesa, Big Mike was on that staff hardcore that time.
What's up?
It's prime.
hear you because I'm the internet. I got to put you on. What?
James is currently searching the archives for who was drafted in 19. What is this? 95 we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm trying to go back. I think it's 93, 94 draft. That's what I'm trying to say.
Why are you searching in the closet? What's
It's where my wife keeps me in the closet.
Oh.
I gotta stay low, or else she'll beat me unmercifully.
About the head?
About the head. 1994 NFL draft.
It's not 94. That was Thomas Lewis year.
So what was it? 90? Was it 95, Tim?
It's got to be around there. It's
Hold
95
on.
or 96. I was a huge Kevin Hardy fan, and I love Simeon Rice as well coming out.
I liked Simeon Rice a lot that year. I remember that. Okay, let's see. Oh, this thing sucks.
No, it's not 95.
It's not 95.
No.
That was
hold
Tyrone
on.
Wheatley year.
96?
I don't know. I have no clue. I thought it was 93 or 94.
96, Cedric Jones, defensive end.
Oh, there you go. All right. So what was the order?
Keyshawn, Kevin Hardy,
Keyshawn.
Jonathan, then Cedric.
Oh,
It was Keyshawn, Hardy, Rice, and then who else?
Jonathan Ogden.
Jonathan Ogden. All right, so Jonathan, that might have been the other name where the Giants were high on Rice and Ogden, and they thought that one of them was definitely going to drop to them, and they ended up both going. They thought that Baltimore was going to take somebody else. I forget who the guy was, but they thought they were going to take somebody else. They took Ogden, and then the Giants had to take Cedric Jones.
They could have had.
And now I'm looking up the article.
They could have Marvin Harrison at 19. He fell to 19.
Well, I remember that year because
Eddie George.
St. Louis took Eddie Kennison over Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, Eddie George was at 14.
Eddie George. Oh, what a great running back.
We could have had Willie Anderson at 10 if they were considering a tackle.
Some middle linebacker out of Miami, Lewis.
Yeah, Ray Lewis would have been nice. Andre Johnson would have been nice. Oh, no, wrong Andre Johnson. My bad.
that's a tackle.
I was like, what?
I was like, why did they list him as a tackle? Wow, he's a lot older than I thought he was.
Well, I was like, damn, he went late. I don't remember him going that late.
Oh, yeah, that too. Did he go like 3 or something?
Yes. Yeah, he did. Was this a Jerry Reese pick? No, this was Ernie.
Tim Biakabatuku. You could have took him.
Yeah.
What a name.
Stupid phone.
We could have took Marco Battaglia. Come on, you guys remember him.
You know what? You made me look at drafts, and now I'm like looking at the next one. The next year we took Ike Hilliard, which I was a fan of Ike. I liked Ike Hilliard.
97? Huh?
But we passed on guys that we could have took. You know, we could have took Tony Gonzalez. We could have took, who else we got here?
Who did we take 90?
Yeah, Bruce.
I'm looking to see what we did 98. Hold on. Sean Williams. That was our only pick that year?
I do remember that. The Sean Williams, that really sucked that year. He got in that car accident. Ruined his career. And he was supposed to tear it up.
Yeah, I don't see they missed out on anyone, though. R.W. McQuarters had him.
We got him in the long. We played the long game with R.W. McQuarters.
Wait that sucker out.
That's right.
Hold on. 90.
But you know what, guys? So, well, we were walking through the draft before we took calls, and we pretty much were all in agreement that Josh Allen would be going 3. Who would go? Who's 4? Off the top of my head, is that the Raiders?
That's the Raiders, yeah.
That's the Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders are 4, right?
Yeah. How do we have our mock? What do we say? Murray, Bosa,
Well, yeah,
Oliver. Is that who he said? Nor Williams.
I would say the Raiders would go Williams, but who knows? That's actually one spot that Raiders actually have a good. They have a good people at defense tackle. No, I can see Raiders doing something stupid and grabbing like Greedy Williams.
See, that's another.
DK Metcalf.
Huh?
You think so? Classic Raiders go with the fastest guy on the board.
Classic Raiders come out.
Oh, wow. I would have surprised you.
No.
Take somebody that's just like, just like it was this year with Cleveland taking the corner at 4. Ended up being a good pick.
You know how we do like the Instagram stories, like question and answer, and some guys like, I think we should get DK Williams in the 3rd round. I was like, what are you smoking? In the 3rd round?
Yeah.
I mean,
just call dibs on him so teams can't take him.
I was like, besides 2 drills in the combine, he crushed everything else. So what? He can't turn left. Doesn't matter.
He can't turn left.
That's my new favorite thing for him.
He can't turn left.
Can't turn. It's like the 3 cone drill. He did it in 38 hours or something.
Yeah. He got lost twice.
He took a wrong turn. He tried to go right.
He got lost. He had to ask for directions. Coach, which way out of this fucking drill? I can't turn left. I'm not an ambi-turner. Coach.
I'll catch you on the way around.
I'm gonna need you to run a post. Ooh, sir. I can't run it from this side of the field. I'm not an ambi-turner.
Daniel Xavier, he said 4 lefts. I was listening to one of our mock drafts that we did, and we had Randy Gregory going to cracks me up thinking about it. And we had Randy Gregory going to New Orleans. And it's like, can you imagine him in New Orleans always showing his tits around?
Oh, God.
Like, hey, Randy, show us your tits. I was like, what the? Oh, my God. He can't turn left, but he can make 3 right turns blazing fast. Yeah, I know, man. If he burns everyone down the field and catches the ball, what do you say about that?
So what questions do we got in chat? Anything?
None more statements and questions. I like Locke, but I think Denver is going to take him. How about that?
Who do you think Locke's taking him?
Denver.
I can see that. I absolutely see Locke going to Denver.
Oh, I found it.
All that search.
I found it.
With 93 draft?
Yeah, this is the
Was Luke Pettigo?
Greg Gabriel. How poor preparation led to the 1996 led to the New York Giants blowing the 1996 first-round draft pick. I'll send this to you guys. I'm trying to see who.
If he was on staff at the time? Should I play the thinking music?
I'm reading. Go play. Talk amongst yourselves.
He's reading. Yes.
Will James find out his information? Next. We should get Bryce Love later in the draft. How about that?
Bryce Love leader.
They thought Baltimore. So the Giants wanted Ogden. They wanted Rice. Ogden was the best player on their board. Can you get the running back that that they thought Baltimore wanted?
You wanted Phillips?
So they figured that they were going to get Ogden because Baltimore was going to take Phillips. And when Ogden went to Baltimore, they panicked and were forced to take Cedric Jones because they did no other homework on anybody else in the draft. Do you fucking believe that? I'm going to send it to you.
That's like you found the test. You're like, hey, this wasn't on the test that you gave me yesterday. This wasn't on these questions weren't there.
You're not allowed to take him. We didn't do any research on anybody else.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I called dibs. I'm sorry. Can't take that one. Hands off.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. I have an early day tomorrow, unfortunately, so I'm going to cut this.
Yeah, call it a night.
Call it at an hour. Let's see. I think that's it. Next Wednesday is to be determined. James, did you download that program?
Not yet. I got home late from work. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not going to lie. I probably won't do it tomorrow. It's more likely that I do it on Saturday.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah. I just sent you guys that Pro Football Weekly article. That's good stuff. Take a gander.
All you want to get is like pissed off, don't you? You
No,
want to
it's from 1996 for Christ's sakes. It was Dan Reeves. It's just a good article. If you're a Giants fan, it's just
Tim.
fucking wallow in the misery.
It's getting them off this trip.
No, that's like
Maybe that's what we got to do.
That you get.
That's an article that you share. That's an article that you share with all the millennials to show them that even fucking 20, 30 years ago, we were still a clusterfuck.
They didn't even have the internet during those drafts.
Shit, that was earlier course T. So and now he gets brought in. Now he gets brought in to ask what GM should do.
Yeah.
He's an advisor to everybody in the league.
But we know why.
You definitely know why.
You hit on the quarterback in your everyone's favorite. All right, everyone.
What?
Play Big Blue. Always.
All right, talk to you later. Peace.
Later.